welcome back to OCN Online. We're here with Dr. Bernadine Cruz, as we are every Thursday, talking about your pet questions. 1-800-225-5626. But today we're talking about rather unusual pets. Those are the ones seen at the Medieval Times show. And here with us is exotic animal trainer Ginger Licot, and she has with her a falcon. Say the name again, I'm sorry.
Her name is Perrin, and she's a sacred falcon.
Okay, and now you say this hood is just something you do to keep them calm and not excited. So
right. And it's not a cruel thing, and they accept the hood. It's very bright in here. Say hi.
Oh, look at those eyes.
Hi, little bird.
She's just checking everything out.
This is the first time I've seen her face as well. Oh,
but you see how calm she is? She's not stressed out or anything.
Very calm.
And birds of prey don't have the kind of emotion that people do. It's not like, oh, you're going to put me in the dark or something like this, and they don't resent these kinds of things. And if I want to put the hood back on her, you can see she really doesn't mind it.
She's very used to it.
No, not at all. All right, well, let's get to the phones. I think we have a question for you. George from Huntington Beach. Hi, George. How can we help you?
Hi, how are you?
Great.
I just wanted to say what Ginger's doing is really good, because as a child I had some phobias about animals, and I think going to zoos and being able to have first-hand experiences is really, really beneficial to kids. I mean, even domestic animals like dogs, you see people scared all the time on the street, and there's really, I mean, if people knew more and they were educated, they really wouldn't have the phobias or, you know, some of the extreme thoughts they had.
Well, great. We sure appreciate you calling.
Alrighty.
And that's it. You didn't have a question?
No, actually, I did have a question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How difficult is it for someone to actually bond with a large cat? Like, how long does it take for you to actually have that cat trust you, or do they trust you, like, completely?
Well, it takes you about 2 seconds to bond with the cat because you fall in love with it at first sight. But as long as you treat that cat right and respect that cat, there's never a question of the bond there, as long as you always recognize the fact that it is a wild animal and it is not a domestic cat.
So,
Right.
in
Okay.
other words, you don't expect them to just be always on your lap and always, you know, cuddling with you, right?
Right. They're not pets, but you can have a great respect for each other.
And realize that he can't hurt you. Now, that little bobcat was not declawed, is that correct?
That's correct.
Perfect. Good.
George, thank you for your call. You know, we did have the bobcat up on the chair, and Andy was worried at first whether it would claw the chair, but I never saw the claws come out.
No.
Even though she was obviously very anxious.
And it's the same with my 550-pound tigers.
Really? Okay. Yeah, we had actually, if Andy could get a shot of this is a great picture of you with one of your tigers. There we go.
Now, did you start with all these tigers as cubs, and that's where the bonding has come in, or would you do the same thing with a tiger that, for whatever reason, was given to you as an adult?
Yes, it's better if you start when they're younger, but as a trainer I have had people come and ask me. See, a lot of people get them when they're young and they're cute, and the thing to remember is you don't let them do anything when they're little that you don't want them to do when they're 500 pounds. And so,
same way with kids.
Well, yeah, hopefully they don't get to be 500 pounds. But I have had people come to me with sub-adults, meaning like 1-year-old tigers, saying, I don't know what to do with it. It's much more difficult to train out the bad habits and train in the new, but you can do it.
She is totally unfazed by this whole, I thought she would get kind of excited when the lights were bright and everything. Of course, she is a performer.
She's a performer. She's been performing every night for just about 2 years.
Really?
Now, some people might think of having raptors as being somewhat cruel, gee, they should be allowed to fly. But in actuality, this bird is great for education and gets quite a bit of exercise, doesn't it, with you?
If you have a bird for falconry, you shouldn't have a bird to stick in your mews as a status symbol or to fly once a month. You should fly that bird as often as possible during hunting season, if you can, almost every day. Birds that are for exhibitors, she does fly every day.
And you don't hunt your birds, correct?
I don't hunt her because she has to fly every day, and if she hunts and she's too full, she won't fly. But she does get to fly every day, and of course she gets the absolute best veterinary treatment and best food, and when it comes time to go to work, she's ready to go.
Really? ever treat birds like this? Have you ever?
We don't have any clients that have birds of prey that bring them in, but periodically we will have people that will hit a bird by accident and will bring them in. You might want to mention about their claws, the way they will hold on to you when they get scared. If somebody were to find a injured bird of prey, what's the best way to capture it, to put it in a box so they're not getting themselves damaged and hurt with those talons?
If you have a bird of prey that you find injured and it doesn't have what we call jesses, which are these leather things here, which, by the way, you don't fly the bird when it's wearing the jesses because it can get tangled up in a tree or something, then she will, because she's tame, she'll sit on my fist whether I hold him or not. But a wild bird wouldn't do that. So the best thing you could do is what we call cast the bird, and that is take a towel, drape the towel over the back of the bird. Don't squeeze, because remember, birds have no diaphragm, and just hold the wings in and be careful of the feet. A bite from a parrot might have 900 psi in the beak. A bite from a falcon really will not hurt you, but you have to watch out for the talons. They can go right through you.
Okay, coming up next segment, what do you have for us?
I think we'll bring out a macaw, part of the Psittacine family.
Okay.
You've seen raptors now.
And you brought an owl, too.
I also brought an owl, but we'll save him for last.
Okay, good. We're going to break now for about 15 minutes of news. But before we go, we keep forgetting to mention Saturday, March 23rd.
Crazy Pet Contest.
OCN's Crazy Pet Contest and Pet Expo. Dr. Cruz and I did this last year over out in front of Russo's in the Tustin Marketplace. We'll be doing it again this year and having a great time. We're going to give you more details about it at the beginning of next segment because we want to see all of you and your pets there. 15 minutes of news and back for a third segment. Stay with us.